everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Friday. Welcome back to fresh, brand new Hazel Stream. Welcome to the beginning of your weekend. If your weekend begins on a Friday, we're here. I am cleaning up my bags a little bit. Not like aggressively. I'm still carrying around these dispelled coins from early in Decor Duel as like a mark of rage or something. I should get rid of those. That's not good for my psyche. Hello, Divas. Hello, Hazel. Hope you're well. Hello. We're doing okay this morning. We're keeping it together. We got some coffee. We got some water. We got some good reason to sit down. Farm some rares. Oh, should I put my sky shards in the bank from yesterday and see how many we're at? I am now 3 out of 8 mounts. I have both Eversong mounts plus one of the Voidstorm mounts, so I no longer need to farm Eversong. There's an argument to be made for doing it just Dame Bloodshed for a chance at her pet, but maybe in the interest of like getting as many like mount eligible rares down as possible, I should just head out, probably Zolomon first, and see what we can do. It looks like I'm 192 at least out of 500 sky shards. We may get Oncharon just from farming rares in Herondar. Dance to J2K, thank you very much for the brand new Prime sub. I really appreciate it. Holy smokes. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad, as we used to say. Who dropped the 3rd mount? Someone in Eversong. I'm forgetting like the specific rares, but it's dropped now. It's there. We have it. We can move on. We're heading to Zolomon. I also had a nice time yesterday hunting down the remains of the Midnight Safari achievement, getting the rest of the wild pets I hadn't got yet. So that was fun. I have those now. That's something. Kitty Rotten, thank you for the 22-month resub. Appreciate it. The Harry dropped the cobalt for me. Oh, nice. Hola. Hola. Hey, Hazel. Hello. How you doing? Happy Friday. Hope your day's going all right. We're gonna see if we can find any. Oh yeah. Any rares that we can win against, and maybe find a chance to drink some coffee and like wake up the rest of the way. Having a tough time getting the pieces together today. Jumped out of my chair when the Vibrant Petalwing dropped. Oh man, is it just me or is that the best one? Out of the 8 mounts that dropped from rares, I feel like that one might be the best one. So pretty. I walked out my door this morning and I was in my yard watching my rose bush, and it turns out the morning is when the bees come out. I noticed that the flowers are like a different color after they've been open for a while. They like open pink and then they turn white, which is kind of cute. And apparently the bees like the pink ones. Those are the ones that I guess must have the best pollen. And it's a good way to wake up. I got blackout curtains in my room. And they're great because they help you like sleep well even when the light's out, and it gets light out pretty early in the summer. But the problem is that when it is time to wake up, unless you actually get out of bed and draw back the drapes, which seems like an impossible task when you're really, really sleepy, it's hard to like wake up. You gotta get some light in your eyes, otherwise the body doesn't want to do it. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's still nighttime and winter. I'm gonna hibernate. I will be in my cave. The 2 mounts I could get from Zolomon. One is a pangolin, and the other one I think is some kind of an eagle. I would take either. I would take both. Interested to see if we can get pretty consistent, pretty quick rare kills. I have 3 characters that I can do these 3 zones on. I wonder if I'm going to end up running into only having, like, running out of attempts in a day when I have fewer zones to patrol. It might not take a whole 3-hour stream to do all the rares in like 2 zones on 3 characters or 1 zone on 3 characters. We'll have to see. Some coffee. Yeah, nice bright sunshiny day should be nice. Katie's doing good this morning. I spent some time with them last night. I set myself up in their room in the big blanket and just like hang out, and then I figured I would just like wash it all and take a shower after before bed. They are getting big in there. They're doing fine. They're going a little crazy. They're starting to look a little better, but it's definitely gonna be a while. But man, they're getting big. They jump around and throw themselves around like Moose used to when he was a puppy. I forgot that kittens are so ballistic. Like they They're not afraid to, like, hit something at speed. Mavis, thank you very much for the 2-month resub. Appreciate it. Tiki is bigger, but tuna may be crazier. Tuna may surprisingly turn out to be the less chill one. Maybe they'll, like, trade as they grow up. Can you disinfect a new cat tree? Yeah, I steamed the daylights out of it. All the bedding comes off. And then the rest of it is hard surfaces and some sisal posts, but I steamed it really thoroughly. I can't afford to just throw it out. It was like it wasn't $300, but it was over $200. And we were just about out of hundreds of dollars for stuff like that. So I used the steam cleaner and I like really went over it. We're gonna do Snapping Scourge. It's not a carpeted tree, so that helps. It's not like cardboard covered in carpet. It's like actual like hardwood. I have been steaming things. Today might be a good day to do some steaming, actually. Well, I'm gonna be kind of busy today. We gotta figure out something for a news video. We gotta figure out what the news is. I've been trying to figure out what the best way to find out what's hip and happening and what the breaking news is in WoW now that I still check Wowhead, but like, the Wowhead news articles are going in a different direction, and I feel like I need more points of reference. And I've been checking Icy Veins news articles, and sometimes they have good stuff, and sometimes I don't know. Oy. WoW itself posts their news once a week, and they'll hit the really big highlights of like the actual like posts that they've announced, and you can find blue posts and whatnot. But sometimes there's like news stories that are like unannounced hot fixes or changes or something that's going on that wasn't something that Blizzard posted. I'm starting to think I'm not going to be able to figure out what it is. If all WoW news ever moves onto Discord, I'm really toast because I can't navigate Discord. I'm so bad at it. Everyone else uses it like they were born on it, and I'm just lost all the time. WoW being different is in itself news. Yeah, it is. But I don't know. What are you gonna do? It's just another business that you have to just accept as a business, and it's gonna run itself as such. Another streamer made a whole video about how Wowhead seems to be more opinionated these days. They touch on like the ZAM layoffs and stuff. More people talk about it. They may make notice, take some changes. I really doubt it. I think that's why I'm not like in a big hurry to cover it, because it's kind of like, well, I really doubt it. I think that the future for news sites like that is more and more AI written or AI assisted articles published by less and less actual real people. And when things are inaccurate, they're not going to fix it or fact check it or make sure it stands to the test of time. They're just going to keep pushing out new ones and race it all the way to the bottom. I don't see any world in which they don't do that. Maybe I'm just pessimistic. You know, complaining about it's not going to bring perk back. I feel like the era in which you could have people that like really cared in a position like that is maybe over. Aloha, hello. How you doing? Aloha. Happy Friday. We're trying to get lucky on mounts today. I got all day. I got all the patience. I'm prepared. Well, I'm as prepared as you could be anyway. Is MMO Champion still a thing? That's a good question. I haven't checked them in a long time. I haven't really taken a look at them. Keep telling YouTube, don't recommend this channel for any clickbaity titles or thumbnails. There is too much. Yeah, that's just how it goes these days. Ooh, Faga's gonna be over here. The Hateful Eight mounts for the new zones. I know this grind well. Did you do it? Did you finish it? Was it awful? I'm like less than halfway. Oh, I just missed that one. I am less than halfway through it, but I'm feeling like I got one yesterday, so I'm still feeling the momentum. Wow, head in this general direction. The time has come for Thoughtbot. I think they're both under ZAM. I think they're owned by the same people. I think that that's because people suggested that was like the first thing people thought of. Was like, oh man, we got to bring that back. But I think it's owned by the same company. I'm not 100%, but 7 out of 8 right now. Oh, nice. You're so close. Which zone is your last zone? I've been wondering if there's like a better or worse zone to be stuck in for like your final mounts or not. I feel like Herondor is not too bad because then at least you're getting sky shards. Let's go check Oak Talon. I've been thinking a little bit about how to navigate living on the internet that's like changing out from underneath me. I've been online for a long time. And change is always gonna happen, but this past 2 years, I feel like, maybe 3, I'm starting to feel like I lost my feet a little bit with it. Maybe it's just age. Maybe things are changing faster now because of things like Gen AI. Maybe the world's just losing it a little bit. I have a place in it somewhere. I just got to figure out how I want to like approach life online. Believe in you and your mount. Look, I believe in persistence. As long as I don't give up and I'm not picky about when, and you can't be picky about when it drops because that's not up to you. As long as I don't give up, it'll happen. You know, barring my death. Barring my personal bodily death, the mount will drop eventually. It's just kind of a when question. Have you found recently your social media feeds consist of mostly cat things, wow things? This is what mine's like now. I don't know if I have a social media feed. I have YouTube recommendations, which is, I guess, kind of a social media feed. But everything else, like, I'm not really scrolling anything else, because they either I got off them a while ago, or they just ceased to show me anything that I had any interest in clicking on. Even YouTube is like that. I'm having a really, like, I used to be able to waste a lot of time on YouTube, and it's probably not a bad thing that I can't do that anymore, but, like, it's not hitting the way it used to. It's either not recommending me the right content, or I've changed and I'm no longer looking for that kind of thing. I didn't get any from ZA yet, no. I have 2 from Eversong and 1 from Voidstorm. Cat content's always good, but I don't trust cat content now anymore unless I know the cats. Because it's just too easy to fake stuff like that. And like a really cute video, if I find that it was not real, is like worthless. Like, if the cat didn't actually do it, I don't want to see it. And it's hard with any like algorithmically served content. You're gonna have fake stuff in there now, and it just kind of like ruins the whole activity. Because I don't want to be on the lookout for like, you know, extra cat legs or whatever. Free algorithm's bad lately. It's kind of a snake eating itself a little bit. And like, I believe that I have a place online, and the content that I do or don't do or could begin to do in the future, you know, has a place in this ecosystem somewhere. There's going to be people that still want to listen to a real person, even if she's getting a little bit apathetic. Alright, we're not doing a Sean. We're gonna go check for... Oh, this one died, though. Maybe Murloc could be the next one up. We can swing by this. Been a few years since I last played WoW or watched your content. Hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you very much. On the whole, pretty good. On the whole, we're doing pretty good. YouTube became Cat Dog TV, where it's just a loop outside. Or mice. My pets love it. Nice. Indecisive E, thank you very much for the brand new Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you for picking me for your Prime. How much do I want to like try and camp any ones that I'm missing? Also, I feel like I fought this guy, but I guess not. You watch the YouTube content channel that's how Dave suffered today? I actually saw one of those not too long ago. I remember Dave said meow and it was very sad. I didn't finish the video though. I didn't really feel a need to keep watching. It might be me. I might be the problem. It may not be the fault of all content everywhere that I'm just washing out of it. Oh, the coffee's good today. Trick is making sure the potential audience is aware of you. Yeah, the hard and kind of paradox thing is that in order the practices that gain exposure online are all of the things that are like antithetical to what I actually want to do. Like sensationalism and rage baiting and clickbait and whatnot. Like the things that actually find success. Or on the other side of that, there's like networking, general schmoozing. Also not a skill set of mine. Those are all the things that people like use to grow. And like I feel like at a certain point you gotta play the game, but I just like haven't been. And it's fine if you can just like sustain yourself with the people that you do have that have found you, but I don't know, it's a tricky game. Am I gonna sit here and wait for this to spawn, or am I going to try a different zone? I think I should try a different zone. If we run out of everything, we can come back and do another loop or something. But yeah, I also have been feeling, like I said, that dissatisfaction with some things online and like the state of the internet. And I feel like that dissatisfaction opens up like a real market or need for things that still make people feel like people. In whatever way that means, whether it's something that's like really relatable or just grounding or whatever. I don't know. It's tough. What are we doing? We're not going to do Eversong because we don't need to do Eversong. We're going to go to Voidstorm next. Yes, I haven't done a great deal of content in the last couple of weeks because I've been in the middle of Ringworm Gate. I gotta make a raid guide this weekend. We got a new raid boss coming up the next week. I found a stack of letters from my mom that she wrote me when I was in Switzerland. They were typed on real paper and included pictures of important people like our dog. Something lost to people today that have that sort of thing. I'm sure people still write letters. It's just a little more niche than it used to be. The thing in my family was we would write letters to each other and we would write them in a spiral. You would start... I forget if you started on the outside of the page or the inside, but you would rotate the page around and you would write clockwise around the page in like an enormous spiral to have like this spiral letter, and I would write to like one of my aunts like that and she would write back, or like your mom. We didn't do a lot of them because it was kind of a pain in the butt, but like, and I don't think I have any of them anymore. I wonder if I did another one, if they would look at it and be like, what is this? What if I'm the only one that remembers doing that? Start with the Twitches Women's Guild. I have a very, and this is part of my problem, and this is not necessarily a good thing about me, but I have a very strong inclination to remain in my bubble. I have a very hard time engaging with people outside of it, because I get all messed up about why we're there and motivations and intentions, and I just don't like it, and I just choose to not deal with it, because I'm just, I guess I'm a little socially underdeveloped for one. But like, I don't know, I'd rather, I don't like it. It causes me extreme anxiety when I think about doing stuff like that. You got a third mount? Which one? Which zone? I got the Cerulean Hawkstrider from Eversong. So I now have both mounts from Eversong. I had a friend who lived in Vancouver and we wrote to each other in Morse code. I was about 10. You guys get pen pals through school? I feel like we did that like once or twice, but I didn't keep up with them very much. I forget what country. They were like international pen pals. But I forget, like, from where or what we would... I feel like we just talked about, like, Pokemon. Looks like the Woodstormers are up today. Gotta do what feels okay for you. Yeah, I try. There's something to be said for getting out of your comfort zone, but if it was easy, we would all do it. And, oh yeah, I need to go in the cave, that's right. Doesn't it feel good to not fly around a zone killing those rares? I guess so, but a tiny part of me is a little bit bummed just because Eversong was my favorite zone. Of the 4 zones, that was my favorite one to fly around killing rares. There were no gotcha rares that were like super hard that were gonna kill me. The rares had a nice density. It's pretty out there. Like of all of the zones, that was like kind of the best one. Started working on Light Up the Night. Have you done that? I have. It's an awesome mount that comes from that. The Brilliant Petal Wing, I think. Really pretty. Very good. Plus, I feel like that'll come in handy later when they do like proper zone meta one day down the road. Love not working with Eversong and Herondar. Would have loved an international pen pal. Morse code friend was a girl on the block over when we lived in Vancouver. And my parents ripped me out of my life, dragged me to Victoria. Hence the letters. Yeah. You're better than me. Whenever I moved as a kid, I would just start over. That happened a couple of times. We moved a bit. Lotus Dark Blossom. Let's go see if he's up. Didn't always live in Vancouver? I did, but we moved, like, a lot. Like, we would move between, like, we moved from, like, the city to the country. We moved to, like, different areas. They were, like, farther away. Enough to change schools, basically. And when you're 9 and you don't drive, that basically means you're never seeing your friends again. I had, like, a bestie in... Because we spent, like, 2 years in a school that, like... we then pulled out of and then moved and went to a different school. And I had a bestie from the first one, and she was Polish, and I forget her name, but we were like insistent that we were going to be best friends forever. We were going to find each other again, and I've forgotten her name and everything. I remember she gave me like a rose brooch, which is very weird and like medieval. Not weird, but like it was sweet at the time, but like when you hear that story, you're like, wow, was this 1901? Like what's happened here? You gotta stay ahead of the law. Can you imagine my parents are actually spies? That was the real secret all along. You get to finish the school year? I don't remember. I was pretty young. We switched districts. Not that many times. Just mostly when I was like, by the time that I was like 8 or 9, I had moved into the district where I would be for a while. Like basically until high school. It was just like a couple of times up until 8. You are still young? Well, as much as we all are. I'm as old as I've ever been, and I'm as young as I'll ever be. Thank you for all your videos, hard work over the years. Your YouTube videos saved my WoW sanity many times. Well, I'm glad they helped you out. Now I kind of have lots of international pen pals, except that it's you guys, and I don't write. We just kind of talk while we play WoW. Deep thought. Yeah, any luck? No. I have lots of shards for coffer keys and stuff. One thought that occurred to me is if I ever decide to try to collect the rest of the pets from Midnight, I'm gonna need to do Giga Bountiful Delves. Because there's a handful of pets that I don't have from there that just like seemed really unwilling to drop for me. And I guess the move would be to just like do the Bountiful Delves. Like I have keys. I got keys for days. I got 24 keys banked on this character plus another 8's worth in shards. Yeah, your words don't really do the spiral thing because you're talking out loud. What if we get the gravity chair? It spins us around. Happy Friday, Hazel and everyone. Happy Friday, Nadia. Don't really have friends outside partner in these hard to define connections online like this too. Yeah. I think that's becoming more normal. That's basically what my life is like. Some people will have more connections that, or maybe like maybe not like besties, but like acquaintances from like work. So I'm a little more isolated there because I do that by myself. But I think especially like when you hit a certain age group, well, I can't say nobody has friends just because I don't have friends. That's not reasonable. Some people do. Some people maintain vibrant social lives their entire lives and they are much better off for it. Let's not ignore that. Do you do pet battling? I used to do a lot of it. I kind of did everything in pet battling that I wanted to do. I don't want to say I finished it, but there's not a whole lot of new stuff going on that I'm super jazzed to do. How long do you play WoW? I've played WoW since 2009. So that would be 17 years. There's a number. We're going to check for Scream Mechs, huh? I did not finish the Eastern Kingdoms Kalimdor Pet Battle Achievements. Oh, hey, she's here. In theory, I could. I've been debating whether or not I feel like I want to. If they don't add any more pet battle content and that's the end of it, I might just leave it. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like I need it to be not dead for me to finish the available stuff. But there it is. Hope we get at least one, if not all of them today. I can rail. Man, imagine if I got all of them today. I think that things would, like, burn. That would be crazy. Scoots with a 70-month resub. No more funny number. Oh man. Gotta make some new numbers funny. Appreciate it. Celebrating a 6-year modiversary thing too. That's wild how fast that went. We're doing... Check for Biolmaw. I guess I didn't check for Rexure. We can go take a look at him too before we head to Herondar. I think it would be the last ones you ever complete again. Yeah. Certainly a thing on the list. If I ever ran out of everything else to do in WoW, we could talk about it. Got a few other things that I feel like would come before those, though. They're just long. I had started on them. I had started, I think, specifically on the Eastern Kingdoms ones. Family Battler of the Eastern Kingdoms. Yeah, I have 4 of the achievements done for Eastern Kingdoms. I'm almost halfway finished it. And then some of the other ones I was like, I had some progress in. Not hard, just kind of annoying. Think you have the most I've seen anyone have? Oh, of the rare mounts? Ah, there's people in chat that have more. Miss number 3. It was yesterday. Rexure over here. Yeah, it was yesterday. I got the Cerulean Hawkstrider. I think that's what it's called. Cerulean Hawkstrider from Eversong Woodsrares. Yeah, that's the new one. It's blue. Can't ride it around though because it's a ground mount. Ah, flew all the way up here. This one's not even up. How rude. Kill the rage-riddled drifter. Can I kill the rage-riddled drifter? Worth 1,000 gold. I need Slayer's Dwellum rep, which is a different issue that I have. I only just hit Honored. I have not very much progress. Oh, is it in the dungeon? Is there a dungeon here? There is a dungeon. I don't think this is the dungeon quest, though. It looks like it's this thing. There's people here. Oh yeah, there it is. If I can just get 1,000 gold like this, I would not say no. So much work for a pet that probably won't be used in the future anyway, but a +1 is a +1. I think we hit the point where I wasn't using new pets like a long time ago. I feel like I have been using the same 20 pets to do basically all pet battles for a long time, and I think I've had most of those pets for a long time. It is fine, it's not a problem. Let's go check Biolmaw one more time. It just, yeah, I don't know if I've ever, like, leveled up or gotten a new pet and been like, oh yes, I'm gonna use this one in my battles, because, like, you have so many of them. I've been leveling them just for, like, completion's sake. I guess Data for Azeroth pet score, although I haven't looked at that in a while, too. Are you gonna work on or have worked on the Slayer's Rise rep? I've started working on it a little bit. I just got 300 rip with them for doing that world quest. I need to do more because there's mounts and there's a pet and there's 2 mounts. And I would like to get those before the expansion's over would be nice. So I think we're going to go to Herondar. That's next. Sad that we don't have new pet battle world quest. Love doing those for an extra rep. Yeah, I liked him too. I would always stop and just like crank out a pet battle for like some pet charms or like some gold. That was like an easy yes for me. Yeah, there is a Paragon mount for them too. You're right. Your pet number is my year of birth. 98. Baby. There's so many. And I'm missing a lot of them too. That's okay. The +1 doesn't speak to me the way it used to. I'm not against a +1, but it doesn't drive me anymore, I don't think. I had to think about whether or not I wanted to get new things because I wanted them or because other people wanted me to want them. And it just, I don't know, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I do not keep extra pets. I only keep unique pets. I keep 1 of each. I don't keep any dupes. My logic was always that if there is a pet battle that absolutely requires a dupe, then I'll get it for as long as it takes to do that pet battle, get the achievement, and then just get rid of it. I don't like keeping copies. And that way, if I do have any copies in my pet journal, I can cage them and sell them or delete them or send them down the river in a little basket. Husband says they have remade Little House on the Prairie. News to us, perhaps not to everyone else. I feel like I vaguely heard something about them remaking it. How are you? How's the adorable Moose Tiki Tuna? Hi, we're doing alright. I'm doing pretty good. Having some nice coffee, farming some mounts. Lucy's good. He's got like a bump on his lip, but the vet said it was not ringworm and gave us some antibiotics, so I'm hoping it clears up soon. He might just have like a cyst or something. And then Tiki and Tuna are doing good. They're in treatment for their ringworms, so we're doing a lot of stuff for them. But they're slowly beginning to clear up. They are feisty. They are boisterous. They are quite literally bouncing off the walls. Every now and then you'll just hear like a crash from their room and you're like, what could you have possibly done? The babies are growing up. They're getting big. By the time they're let out of their honeymoon ringworm suite, they're gonna be like cats. Like Tiki already looks like a little cat now. I think he's like 5 months or so old. Finally have earned all the Void Assault achievements. Ooh, very nice. Those are super satisfying to cross off the list. Caged the ones that could be caged and didn't know what to do with them, so I made a guild, put them in the guild bank. Hazel would have deleted them. That's only partly true. If they were valuable, I would have either tried to sell them once and then deleted them, or sent them to Flabby so that he could try to sell them. Because I have no patience with listing stuff like that. But sometimes something is really valuable. I did sell... Oh, you know what? The third option is I post them for like 1/3 to 1/4 of their market value so I can sell them faster. Assuming that that market value is like 1,000 gold or more, even when cut down to that fraction. When we were doing the Ecodome dailies, or weekly, in Koresh, which is a name that I've already almost forgotten. I was like, what was that place we were in last patch? Ecodome dailies in Koresh, and we would get the Wriggling Cache, and we would open that for pets, and I would get duplicates. I would get dupes and dupes and dupes. I was selling those. I was not selling them for their full value, but I was selling them. I remember I sold a pet from Nagitar that was a very rare drop for 50k. I needed the gold, but now I have one less pet. Saying you don't vet the new owners? They might use the pet for... Oh, battling. Alright. Getting more sky shards? Getting more sky shards. Should do claw enforcement. That's an easy one to do for 1,000 gold. Yeah, I don't know if I've done that with a pet. Sometimes if I get a pet that's like early in the patch, it's super valuable, and I feel like it's going to have its value drop over time. Sometimes then I will post it at least once to see if I can get the higher price for it under the understanding that I'm going to get another copy of it later. Or that I could just buy my own copy later after the price falls. And basically have earned the difference. I don't think I bother with that anymore though. I think that's more effort than I'm willing to put into my gold management these days. Budding Elgin. Yeah, I think I do have that one. I remember that rare though. Yeah, the Rockweed Shambler. I remember that. That was a real sticking point for a lot of people when they were working on their achievement. That was a hard rare for people to find. Stumpy's not it. Thank you for being my mini podcast while I cut the lawn. Looking much better than it did before. Nice cold drink while watching stream. Oh, nice. You want to cut my lawn too? My lawn is getting fluffy. I managed to water my garden last night, but that's about all I had time for. It is getting wild out there. It was expensive. Still missing one rare for like 6 years. Still check it. The guy never spawns the pack leader. There's a pair of rares where there's like a mother version and a father version. And one of them is a rare version of the other rare, was my understanding. So what might be happening is because people aren't killing the normal one, the one that you're looking for is like just not spawning because it doesn't get enough respawn chances. Is my theory anyway. I vaguely remember that, but it could be just a different rare altogether. Yeah. Najatar was brutal for achievements. That was a tough zone. Getting our rare kills in early anyway. If I do all of them on my 3 characters and I still have time left, I guess I'll work on my house. I, like, very recently had what felt to me like a brainwave. It's probably obvious to everybody and their grand dogs, but, like, it occurred to me that if I'm browsing for something that I might want to decorate my house with or that I might want copies of, I should just look in the decor catalog and not in, like, my decor inventory. Because something that I've already placed and have no further copies of is not going to show up in my inventory. You absolute dingling. Talking to me. So I should probably at some point find the thing that I want by like tabbing through this and then seek out how to get as many copies of it as I need. I don't know why that's such a revelation to me, but like it is. Working on Undersea Usurper, but I gave up. Those guardians that you had to level up, apparently tough work for me too. I feel like those took like a minimum of a month of dailies, which is kind of it's decent, especially for old content. And I forget if you had to do them on both factions or not. Yeah, 30 days each. Yeah. 90 days. Oh, a month of dailies each. That's worse. Forgot about that. It's a cool mount though. Not to be devil's advocate, but it's a pretty cool mount. The what was it, Margos? The mage under the sea with his colors also had some time getting to it. There was only so many. No, I think they fixed that though, actually. I think they went back and did something there. It's really cool, totally worth. I think we got like a different color of it from Trading Post eventually, the crab mount, but I think that the red one from Undersea Usurper is still the best color of it. Yeah, the red one slaps, exactly. Full agree. So if I go mounts and I go family, crabs only. Yeah, so there's the Krusty Crawler, and that's the Trading Post one. But the Snapback Scuttler, which is still only 6% of people despite that being BFA content and a few years old. This is still like a relatively rare mount. What does he have in his little pouch? Maybe they're like treasure maps or something, because I'm sitting on like a treasure. And there's like... mount special. Come on, that's cute. Love them. Crabs are so fun. I love watching crabs at like shore crabs at the beach. That was my favorite part about rock fishing, is I would just like sit by a tide pool, vaguely be fishing for rockfish, but be mostly just like watching the crabs and trying to follow their crab drama. Find out what the tea was at the tide pool on that particular day. Because everybody in that tide pool is stuck together until the tide comes back in. For better or for worse. It's like reality TV Marine Edition. Zen of crab watching. I guess it could be Zen. I would like nickname them based on like what they looked like or how many limbs they were missing or whatever, and then sometimes two crabs would be like, you know, sizing up on each other. Or you'd have one crab just like picking through everything, trying to decide what he wants to eat, and he's just going do, and he's like eating this, and then he's chucking that over its like crab shoulder. Great deal of fun. Once something is given a name, it exists. I have two crabs in my hunter that I occasionally use for fun, named Raspberry and Blueberry because of their colors. Nice. You ever give them the crab shank? People used to love that. One of my hunter pets, or one of my hunters has crab pets tamed, or a crab pet tamed. And there's the crab shank toy that you can use to give them just a giant knife. And people will be like, oh my gosh, where did you get the crab with the knife? Why does your crab have a blade? Well, in case he needs it. It's tough crab streets out there. So I would name the local chipmunks and ground squirrels, not just Stumpy. Oh, you don't have to use that. Maybe you have peaceful crabs. Maybe your crabs are so tough they don't need weapons. You say, why doesn't yours have a knife? You bringing a claw to a knife fight? Am I RP walking? I am RP walking. Alright, so we need to do that rare, and that's it for non-elite rares for this sun. And then that's actually it for my priest. I mean, I could go back and I could try to catch the 3 in Zul'Aman I missed, but like that's pretty good. We got excellent coverage out here for not even being an hour into stream. Wouldn't you be scared of a pink crab named Raspberry? Does it blow bubbles? Like a raspberry. Oh, hey, this is up. My raspberries are starting to ripen. I ate one last night. It was pretty good. Yum, 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 yum. I think today's going to be the day the marigolds open. It has to be. Okay, so if I wanted to go back to Zul'Aman, I guess I could take the portal. I hate taking the portal from Harrendar back anywhere because every time I fly into the cave, I get disoriented and I forget where I came from. Surely the next one will drop them out. Could do. You never know. Definitely any minute now. My bags are all filled with lovely blues I can vendor. The portal's left. Oh yeah! For a second I'm like, oh man, I thought it was over here, but it is. We got it right. Made so much gold from farming the rares. It's great. It's been really good for my Marl. That's the place where I notice it most because I was so kind of hard up for Marl. And now I've got all of the purple mog from the tier 2 vendor. I have... I have a... Oh, I forgot. I have a pet that I wanted to get in Herondor. I guess I could turn around and just go buy it. That would be good. Because the portal's right here. Quick detour. We gotta get Munchie. Is Marl a new cat? Marl the currency. Not a new cat, unfortunately. Trying to fix the 2 cats I have. I love kitties. Alright, so we're gonna check the vendor. Munchie is what I'm doing. Pull some extra marl for my elf that I do rare farming too. Since I'm not a housing guy, definitely save a lot of marl. There's like expensive transmogs that I still haven't got yet. Let me make sure I've got all the marl on this character. I think I do. Pretty much. Oh yeah, 14k. Not nothing. I'm here for Munchie. That's what I specifically wanted. The next mounts and pets that I need from Marl are going to be for Slayer's Duellum, but I kind of don't have the rep yet. And I'm sure that by the time that I have the rep, I'm going to have much more Marl, so I think I can safely just dump Marl into any cosmetics that are on a vendor in front of me. Anything that I just buy once and then I've collected it. Must be nice to have money. Ay. I will watch for you. Munchie. Alright, so we got Munchie. There's a whole weapon arsenal here for 5k. I feel like that's pretty good value. You get like a lot of... There's a lot of appearances in there. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Do I not have Renown 20 yet? That's funny. I thought I was done with them. I guess I did. I'm not. I only got far enough to get, I got far enough with them to get their... What is the difference between these? They look... Oh, they're slightly different colors. They're all variations on orange, but like yellow, red, orange. Oh, that one's blue. Okay. Tabards. I have the decor. Or at least one each of the decor. That's a Gleeful Glamour decor. I want decor recipes. I have that one. Although I don't know if I ever made it. Wonder if being a WoW trillionaire is a brag or not. Depends on who you're trying to boast to. Some people will find that impressive and some people will not. I think that's true with actual money too, though. Gotta pick your audience. Oh yeah, I wanted 1,000 gold from the Grimlinks. I feel like me doing these dailies just for these world quests for gold is kind of the WoW equivalent of me picking up an extra minimum wage shift and being like, yep, this is definitely gonna make me rich. This is 1,000 gold sitting right there. I got time. I could do it. If you sell gold via token, can you ever turn it into cat food? No. There's no way to convert gold to money that's not BNet balance, and BNet balance is unable to feed my cats. BNet balance could buy me cosmetics. The only thing BNet balance offers that I have any interest in, I guess if I started paying my WoW sub, I could save the 15 bucks or whatever a month and save that towards cat food and or vet bills. That's about as close as you could get, is just saving the sub fee and the box fee. I have my next expansion's box fee saved already. I haven't been paying my sub with gold though. I love when cats. I love when they do anything. Tuna was so cute this morning. He's cute every morning, but he was like all happy to see me. Even though I was there to give him breakfast, but also his pail and also his eye drops. And he was just like, hey, meep. Alright, I think I'm done shopping. We're gonna go get on another character. Oh no, I was gonna go check for the Herondor, or for the Zillimon rares. I was gonna see if any of the ones that I missed there are up. That's right. Need to kill Herondor rares just for sky shards. They come faster than I thought they would. I wonder if that's an actually valid method of farming sky shards, or if you're going out to specifically farm sky shards, if you should just be like killing mobs or something. Do they have a wash? Is it weekly? They're on a bi-weekly lime sulfur dip. So every 3 to 4 days they're getting a lime sulfur dip, which is stinky. Make some stinky kitties. How are they doing with that? They're not happy about it, but like we've all survived. No murders have been committed. So stinky. I thought I would hate it, and like I don't like the smell. It smells like it's sulfur, so it smells like bad egg farts, but like I'm just so happy that it's something that's gonna help them get better and like reduce the spore load in their coats and stuff. I've been reading all the available literature on ringworm because I have a sickness where I feel like if I just know enough, then I can like fix it. Not how that works. But I've been like reading, like there's not that many studies that have been done on feline ringworm. There's some. I've just been reading all the studies that I could find because I got sick of people just saying things like they were true online with no credentials. So I started looking for like the actual research. And lime sulfur is good because it can not only like kill the ringworm on the skin, but it can like help protect the coats for a few days, more so than the other topicals. But it's stinky. What are we doing? We're going to Zillimon. That's what we're doing. How are you feeling now? A little less overwhelmed. I kind of have a grip on it. I'm getting better sleep. My ringworm is pretty much cleared up. Husband has a suspicious patch in his neck that we've been putting some cream on, but it clears up on people pretty easy. That's like not even like the concern. Don't ever shave cats? They can, but it's something that needs to be carefully considered based on like the cat and the situation, because you want to get really good saturation of the coat and the spot with the topical. And fur can help hold on to the fungus, but shaving their coats can also be stressful, and it can also cause microabrasions, which can help aid the fungus in spreading. So it's not really recommended unless you have like a very matted cat or a very long-haired cat or a cat that's like super resistant to the spray or like the dip. In most cases, it's not recommended to shave them. In some, it is. I got it from an employer's cat once. Felt like it took ages. There's different strains of it, and some of them might be more resistant than others. Mine cleared up pretty quick once I started actually treating it properly, which was nice. But yeah, some people end up fighting it for ages. Yum, sulfur. Yeah, we'll be doing even better in like another week or two, because right now we're kind of like, it's a lot of meds that we're doling out and keeping track of, because Moose is getting an antibiotic twice a day for his lip, and that's for a week, so we're gonna do that for a few more days. The cats are getting antibiotics twice a day, and they're almost done those. Those are for a different issue that they had. They're almost finished their course, but they're antibiotics, so you have to finish them. Tuna's getting eye drops twice a day, which he's also almost finished. We got like another day of that. They're getting their internal antifungal once a day. And they're also getting a liver support supplement to kind of help them tolerate that once a day. And then I feel like I've held off on the other stuff just to kind of like let them all deal with that. But like it's just a lot of like pill cutting and measuring and making sure they get everything like on time. And because you don't want to like layer up too many things, it's kind of like antibiotic here and then internal antifungal here and then antibiotic here, and it's just like a lot. We're doing it because I know that the better I do this and the better I clean, the more likely we're going to be able to kick it faster. And I want the babies back. I miss them. I don't want to keep them in jail a day longer than I have to, but we got to do it all properly. Mediocrity Squared, thank you for the 48-month resub. Appreciate it. Welcome back to the Squirrel Squad. Hope you've been doing well. Yeah. Clean, 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 clean. I feel like it's something now where now I know. It'll never sneak up on me again. 4 years. If this rare doesn't want to just like spawn, I feel like I should just start the next character. We can always come back. He's making a website and a community. That information's already out there. That's how I got it. I also don't want this to be my hobby for a day longer than it has to be. I want these kitties to get better. I think there's also probably a phenomenon where most cats and kittens that get treated for ringworm probably kick it and it doesn't recur reasonably in like a month. And those people probably aren't online writing like the desperate forum posts about how their lives are falling apart. So I think when you're like obsessively Googling and you're reading all of the stories online, it's going to be tilted a little bit to giving you like the worst stories. So it's entirely possible that it won't be as bad as everything that you've been reading as long as you just keep up with it. Hope you're staying sane with the pet meds. Do they take it well or fight you? They take their pills just fine. The pills are pretty small by the time we've cut them to the right dose. And we just kind of like pop them in like a little bit of wet food and we just let them eat it. And the pills have been going well. The first couple for Tiki, I gave them to him like I put them in his mouth, but I don't do that anymore because we figured out that he'll just eat them if you put a little wet food on them, which is nice. They don't love the bath. Everybody's in danger during bath and sulfur dip time. But I've been trimming their nails like a day or two before. I did their nails again last night so that by tomorrow's bath they're slightly disarmed. And then you wear the long sleeves and the gloves and you just kind of get it done as best as you can. Hazel and chat, hi. I'm less afraid of bathing a cat than I used to be. I used to be like mortally terrified that everybody would perish, and it's not that bad. As best as we can. It's hard to take without fingers. Keep up the pill thing with fake pills after they stop. Guarantee it's useful to have cats that take pills. It's a nice thought. I think that once we're done dispensing medication, though, I'm gonna need like a break. I don't know if I'm going to be in the mood to start giving them placebos after we've done like the however many weeks of all of these pills. I might just want to give them their dinner and go sit down. Cat sanitary haircuts worth it? Do they know they look silly and stay angry at you? Oh man. Question for chat. It's not a question for me, and I don't have long-haired cats, but I would consider it if they were getting like poop stuck in their bum fur. I would consider learning how to like trim it to just help them stay clean there so it's like less cleanup. But otherwise I would just leave them be. Quite an expert in... I'm just an obsessive Googler is what I am. Like I get the anxiety because I don't like everything that's happening. And the only thing I know how to do is just obsessively search, which can take you down terrible paths, like especially if you're not getting good info. This is how people become crazy is they like giga Google something and then they start drinking the wrong Kool-Aid and then they're just doomed. Not often enough to need it, but it's been suggested to me. Alright, we got rares. Let's see if they want to drop pounds. Feels like I'm relearning everything since this is my first indoor-only cat. Cat got shaved for her spay at 4 years and she's been very slowly growing that hair back. It's funny. Yeah, they don't grow fur back very fast. I think Tuna in particular is going to have some bald spots for like a while even after he's recovered from his ringworm just because it like destroys the hair and it takes a while to come back. His poor ear. Yep. It's funny, I think this is where I was camping last time. Maybe I'm on a different shard. I miss hanging out with them so much. Like, I can hang out with them in their room, and I do. But I miss just doing something else, like streaming or, you know, working at my desk or, like, watching TV or eating dinner. And just having one of the cats just, like, trot by and go, eh! And then just, like, hop up or, you know, blow past while they're playing with each other or whatever. I miss just having them, like, around. I'm sure they hate it more than I do. Being all trapped in their deluxe honeymoon suite. Yeah, normal cat times. I keep reminding myself that, like, in the grand scheme of things, a month is going to go very fast. Normally I don't notice months and they just blow past me one after another. So it's going to go quickly. And there will be many, many years of happily ever after that. It's going to be worth it. They haven't, like, unplugged my they haven't, like, turned off my camera in a while. They haven't turned off my stream. We don't have a book for their retest appointment yet. It's going to depend on whether or not they're starting to look better by then or not. Going to be a couple of weeks. He dropped yet another Amani staff. Yeah. Gonna throw those things in the garbage where they belong. We'll see. You want to get them checked because you don't want to be treating them a day longer than you need to be, but you also don't want to like pull the trigger and do it too early because it's like hundreds of dollars that I don't have to like keep repeating. You know what I mean? You kind of want to minimize that if possible. Think I got the wrong coffee? The grounds disappear when the coffee is done brewing. Oh, did you buy instant coffee instead of coffee grounds? By mistake? That might do it. I think so. Some people drink exclusively that. Think they would have self-test kits for COVID. People that are running like rescues and shelters will have the ability to do their own fungal cultures and like culture incubators and like the petri dishes, and like I was reading up different ways to like measure their fungal loads and do fungal cultures and like check their P score and whatever. It would be more equipment than I and like I am not a cat rescue. It is not reasonable for me to try to gain the equipment and the expertise needed to do a correct fungal culture so that I can repeat them at home. That's not reasonable. But I was just like, because I'd read everything else, I was like idly reading like, oh, okay, so you take the toothbrush. The other thing is you can get, especially from environments, you can get false positives really easily with these, where a cat will still be carrying fungal spores, but they're no longer infected because there's a certain amount of them that are just going to be around. Even with the finest of cleaning, it's not uncommon for them to get false positives, which would drive me bananas. Imagine being the Pacific Northwest, fungal swabs can be iffy. Because their strain does fluoresce under a blacklight, I can kind of keep we've been checking them every night or two with that just to kind of see like where it's fluorescing and how much it is, and like you can kind of get a vague idea there as to how effective the lime sulfur is in like cleaning it off their coat, and like how active their lesions are and where their active lesions are. That doesn't always work. If you have them with a strain of it that doesn't fluoresce under blacklight, then that's not going to help. But theirs does. So that's kind of it's not like a end-all be-all, but it's like a one tool that you can use. Let's go check for the borer. But yeah, I've been thinking about this way too much because I just miss the kitties and I want them back and I want to fix them as fast as possible, but I don't think there's anything that's gonna like miraculously fix them in like a week, you know, like we're doing everything right, it just takes time. Which is hard for me because I miss them. I want them back. I want to bust them out of jail. But we're gonna follow the guidance from our local vet. It's all you can do. It's the only sane thing that you can do is follow the guidance from the vet that has actually seen them. Wonder if the magic Martha Stewart kitty litter has a color for fungal infection. Magical Martha Stewart kitty litter. Man. I almost died. I nearly perished. I am big team pine litter now. It's been good. Shout out pine pellet litter, I appreciate it. It's been working. Oh yeah, this is up. Do you think it's gonna drop them out? Could do. It might. I had more weird aquarium dreams last night about having like multiple aquariums and like the strangest assortment of fish between them and trying to like figure out how I was going to get the tanks to be both like compatible, like the fish inside with each other, and also like not overstocked. I had this like big goldfish for some reason. I was trying to figure out a tank that it could live in because I had like discovered a tank that I'd forgotten about, and this goldfish was still alive somehow, but it was huge and it was going to need like a bigger home. I love fish keeping and I love my aquariums, but I feel like ever since I got into aquariums back in like 2018, 19 or so, I have recurring fish anxiety dreams. Not like as so many of them to ruin my life, but like they're right up there with like, you know, failing out of school dreams. It's just like another flavor of anxiety dream, I guess. Of like, oh my gosh. Or like sometimes it's like somebody like put a fish in your tank that's eating all your other fish. Sometimes it's that you discovered an aquarium that you had forgotten that you had, and like most of the fish are dead, but a few of them are still alive, and you gotta like figure out where you're gonna keep them because you don't have any tanks anymore. Could anxiety dreams just not? Sometimes it's you introduce a bunch of shrimp to Barb and she's looking suspiciously thick. Oh man, Barb doing fine, by the way. Of all of the animal disasters that have been going on, Barbara is just barbing on. She is getting thick and happy over in that tank eating all the cichlid food. Fish anxiety dreams mean sharks? It's a different kind of worry. It's not that you don't have a tank big enough for your shark. You're worried about the well-being of your pet shark. Tween, TBH. She just hangs out with the Rasboras. I never named the Epistogramma. I think I tried, but I forgot the name that I was going to name them. So, I don't. I feel like it's just fish. I don't know if I'm going to name it. You can still enjoy them. I'm not sure if it's a male or a female Episto, to be honest with you. And I guess as long as I'm not getting another one and hoping that they breed, it's really none of my business. Should just give them like a neutral name. Have you seen the trailers for that game called Draw Aquarium? No, I've never heard of that. Looked kind of fun. Draw Aquarium. Getting lots of rears up here. Lettuce has actually been doing good too. I should give her some credit for that. Lettuce has been in good shape. She jumped again when I was feeding her this morning. I was afraid she was going to clear the edge of the tank. I've been meaning to start the demo for Moonlight Peaks. I haven't heard of that one either. Any luck? No? Okay. Vampire Supernatural Lifecraft Sim like Stardew. Oh. I think what you do is you draw things like fish and plants, and then they go in your aquarium and swim around as 2D shapes in a 3D tank. That sounds kind of cute. Cute graphics. Man, I can't remember the last time that I was like really obsessed with a new game. It's a good feeling. It's been a while. Wait! Wait for me! Not obsessed with any game right now, but breaks are good. Yeah. Waiting for the never-ending WoW season to end to really dig into Paralives. I feel like now's the window, honestly. Go check for these 3 at the top. I don't feel like it's going to get much more of a break than right now. We're so in between patches, we don't even have a current Twitch drop up until next week. There's a new raid next week. Well, yeah. That's why I mean like right now and not next Tuesday. I guess I don't know how long of a break you need. People have been saying good things about it. That game looks really cute. My wish list already too big. I've been progressing Cookie Clicker. I'm in kind of the duodecillions to the tredecillions, and just prestiging whenever I get a chance, and I've like doubled my prestige levels. I didn't really expect it to be one of those games that like might be too complicated for me, because at its core it's about clicking a cookie to get more cookies. But the minigame strategy with Cookie Clicker might go deeper than I'm able to like deal with. If it weren't a busy weekend, I would. Stupid Murloc decor until when? The new one hasn't started yet. It'll be the 16th until I think July the 21st or so. I forget when it ends. I was reading through Cookie Clicker Wiki trying to figure out what like my strat is after like for the next section, and like sometimes I'll read forum posts from people like talking about like the mid to late game strat, and I'm like, I don't know any of these words you're using. Like I'm so lost as to what's even going on at a certain point. It gets so complicated. But as long as what I'm doing is working, I guess I'll keep doing that until I hit a wall. It's kind of fun. And they're 24 data mined. I love the colors of this one, though. You know, I don't really see the problem with them, especially when it's just like, if they're going to do a Twitch drop for every patch release, I don't really have an issue with it just being another plushie recolor. I feel like it's the right kind of fit for where you get it from and how, like, if somebody misses a Twitch drop, I would rather them just miss one of 24 Murloc recolors. I don't necessarily want them all to be like crazy unique and exciting. I fear they're really going to make them all drops. Yeah, I think they're stocked up for a long time, because it seems like they want to do a drop for every single patch release, including micro patches, and they'd last for like a month each. I think they just have years worth of drops lined up. I don't think they're going to mix up that formula until it stops working for them. Yeah, it would have been fun to have a rainbow Murloc for the month. The cotton candy colors are cute. I like them. I think if they stop seeing, like, engagement with the Twitch drops, then they will maybe think about doing something else. But as long as it's working, they're just going to keep doing it. Alright. Heading to Voidstorm, I think. Just want something different. I want more plushies, but I would like to get them. I guess there's some in game. There's some tailoring ones. I feel like I have like one Alec and then just like 50 Murlocs. I like getting things for things I'm going to be doing anyway. Yeah, I level a little double dip. Off to Voidstorm. If this one drops a mount, then we're down to just 2 zones. Towards the end of the month, when Turbulent Time Waste starts, I'm going to start leveling that druid that I made. That's main plan. Catmint, the Resto/Feral druid, is going to begin his adventure, and we can level in time walking and get him all set up. Even if it's just set up for farming rares. Maybe we'll do some keys or something. Catmint, so cute. He's got to do a little feral. I feel like the cat is for feral and the mint is for resto. You know, he's like a little kid. He's a little gardening. He's a male Harrier. Want a whole Beanie Baby line of creature plushies and a Funko line of WoW heroes. For like in-game decor. Or just like IRL. I guess I can check up here, but the real one is gonna be... Oh, here he is. Over there. Decor, yeah. It's funny, I'm like more willing to decorate my WoW office with the stuff than IRL. I don't really want any more collectibles for my office. I feel like I have more than I can display anyway, so... We have enough. We are sufficiently equipped. I might look into at some point fake plants. I used to be a huge hater of fake plants, but like for indoor decor, just because it's not because I can't keep real plants, but it's because most of the real plants are either not cat safe or they're not safe from the cats. And I guess if it's fake, I could at least put it anywhere. I used to hate them so much. I used to feel that fake plants were lying to me and were like deceitful objects that were pretending to be everything that is good and vibrant about the universe, but are actually made out of like plastic and despair. I may have calmed down a little bit though. Miss Poinsettias, but I love my cats too much. Maybe you can find a good mix of the two. There's very few places that I can keep plants in my house where the cats can't get to, and they're kind of in their destructive era, and I do not want anything upsetting their tummies any more than life already has. Miss having plants. I loved having plants, but I also love having cats, and if I'm picking between the two, I'm picking the cats. It just is what it is. Crafty people make flowers and plants out of carved wood, not plastic at least. Do they look like plants though? I guess if you painted them maybe. It's a neat idea. I have live plants inside my aquariums. They're reasonably safe from the cats there. Just have to enjoy those ones. Get really into my aquatic plant gardening. Like some that are knitted in shiny beads. Decor reminds me of Kindles. Bought my wife an e-reader to save money on bookcases, but now it's insane how many books become must-haves when you just click a button. Yeah. I used to buy digital books more often than I probably should have done back when I was mostly e-reading, because especially like, you know, it's 11 at night, you've just finished your book and you're like looking for the next one. You're like, oh man, I always wanted to read this one, and it's just like way too easy. The upside though is that if you guys ever move, much easier to move without dragging along a huge collection of physical books because they are heavy. Oh, he's up. Good option for not real ones. Yeah. Hate Amazon, but I do love Kindle Unlimited. Find a lot of downloads I actually want. Nice. Yeah. Rudy's the most camped rare. Wonder why. I also wonder why. I don't know. It's bizarre to me. Like, other people must know something I don't know about him. Also can't keep physical books anymore. Need to give a lot away. Oh. All our moving boxes were labeled books. Heavy. It's like because there's like a lot of books in the box, or because they're like about a difficult subject matter. I think he has a weird spawn timer. I always wondered if it was before he comes up, there's kind of like, or maybe just in general in the area, it looks like a portal that's sort of summoning him, and it looks like he's about to spawn, and I wonder if people just like wait there because they feel like he's nearly arrived. 7+ boxes of books. Awful. Now that I'm ostensibly not moving anymore, I have started collecting books again. A little bit, anyway. It's nice to get hard copies of, especially because like I'm usually seeking out hard copies of books that I know that I like. It's usually books I've already read before, so I can really just like get copies of my favorites. We didn't pay the movers to philosophize. Hopefully us one day. I always wanted a library at home. Yeah. It's nice to just kind of have a bookshelf to work on. I'm not in a huge hurry. But it's nice. When I was a kid, I always had a bookshelf in my bedroom, and that was like just a nice thing to be able to do at any given time when you're hanging out in your room. It's just like, all right, I'm going to go pick out a book from the books that I have, and I've read a million times, but I'm going to read them again. My bookshelf's not in my bedroom this time, but well, to be fair, you can't fit a lot. I love my house very much. The bedrooms are teeny. They are small. Which is fine by me. I don't keep a lot in my bedroom. It just needs to really fit the bed. Maybe a dresser. I have books stacked waiting to be read that are never going to be read. Not even sure I can still see the text in some of them. Yeah. Maybe there's a new home they can find one day. When the time's right. Check for this one. We're not doing Revengerus or Farthana. Go. Oh yeah, this one's up again. Problem with computer books is they go out of date so fast, and then you have to decide if you can bear to chuck them or not. Was taught to never mistreat books. Oh yeah, if it's something like that where it's information that's not relevant or useful to people anymore, it might be helpful to kind of like look up how books are disposed of industrially to kind of like take a little bit of that like this object is sacred veneer off, and that it's I love books too, but they are just objects, and once they no longer serve a purpose, what is it that they say? Like something that it's still, I don't want to say trash, but like if you have a thing in your home that's not serving any purpose anymore aside from like guilt, it's just trash you haven't thrown out yet. Like it's not waste because it's sitting in your home. It's just you're choosing to live in the trash instead of set it free and move it on to where it needs to go. Something that helps me sometimes when I'm decluttering. It's like this thing isn't going to become useful just because I'm keeping it. I'm just living in the middle of it for guilt's sake. I had a bookshelf headboard. I think it's called a captain's bed. I'd love a little floating open bookshelf like above my nightstand. I feel like that would be super cute one day. But then again, I'd love to do a lot of things to this place. I'll just put it on the list. Hazel trying to do the Itsy Bitsy Spider achievement for World Soul Searching is frustrating. Waving at a couple of them spiders was so complicated. Yeah. I did that at the very beginning of last year, it looks like. No longer sparks joy. Oh, this one's up. And then after this zone, we're going to Herondar, that's right. Every now and then I need to go through like my paper documents in my house and just like decide what needs to be shredded and what actually needs to be held on to, because there's nothing worse than needing an important document and having to like dig through a bunch of stuff that's not necessary because either you kept things you didn't need to or because things aren't organized very well. And I feel like there's some categories of document that I just keep by default that it's occurring to me there's no need for. Like, I've been keeping dental receipts. Like, every time I go to the dentist and they give me like a receipt that says like what happened and when and how much it cost, I've been digitizing those and keeping them in a folder and like dating them and everything. Like, I need to go back and find it. And it's occurring to me, when would I ever need that? I don't have insurance. I'm paying for it out of pocket. No one cares what I did to my teeth. There's like, as far as I can tell, there's zero reason for me to keep a record of this, especially because like if the dentist wants to know when I had a filling or whatever, they can look at their own record because they did it. Like, I'm trying to figure out why I'm holding on to those, because it's occurring to me that maybe I don't need to. No, I can't deduct any of it. It's completely out of pocket. Doesn't help me on taxes at all, as far as I can tell. The accountant didn't want it. I keep other documents for tax purposes, but hold on to them in case you switch dentists, they don't transfer their records. Every dentist I've ever been to always says they're going to transfer records, and they always start from scratch anyway, and they just start from scratch. Like, they don't really care what you've had before. They're just like, they just do new x-rays, and then they start from there. I feel like this that way with vets too. Like, you go to all this effort to like get your records transferred over, and then they're like, you're just brand new to them regardless. It feels like they never read them. When the aliens abduct you, provide them with full information for your continuing health care. This is how you look after Hazel's teeth. Try and keep them in her head. At least until you eat her. Imagine being abducted by aliens and then kept as livestock, and you're trying to figure out if they're keeping you, like, as a pet or, like, for food. How cute do you guys think I am? Elmo? Any luck? Okay, so we're not doing those two. We're not doing those. The Void Scythe would be nice. I'll go check that one more time, but if it's not up, then we're going to Herondar. Getting through the rows a lot faster today. I feel like I'm actually going to be able to do 3 zones and 3 characters. I like this map. This is the one. This is the first one that I got from Rares. This is the one I got from Rares out here. I've heard stories of alien abductions. Best keep your files to avoid unnecessary probes. I was gonna ask if you guys keep those kind of things, like the dental records or anything, but I guess if you guys need them for your taxes, then you would. Here, I'm gonna leave this character here. Pretty sure dental health not considered health in the US. Alright, let's park right here and I will be back. Alright, did it spawn? It didn't. I guess we are going to Herondar. miss her too. Baby girl. Don't have a druid specifically for gathering? I guess not. I have a lot of druids. Most of them have at least one gathering prof on them. Hi, Peppy. How you doing? Happy Friday. How are things going? Tahiran, that's right. Stupid Amani spearheads and hafts. Filling up my bags again. I won't have it. Saves you a lot of time. I don't really do a lot of, like, gathering for gathering's sake. I feel like I do a lot of gathering, like, while I'm doing other things. Like, if I'm on my way somewhere else and I have mining and I see a node, I might grab it, but I don't really, like, set out to go gather on purpose. So I don't know that I'm, like, wasting a lot of time. Plus, once you get the skill points for it, you can mine and herb while, like, mounted without having to get off your mount. I'm sure it's sometime, but, like, this isn't too bad. Professions points saved since you don't need the gather while mounted thing. Does that not also give you, like, really important stats, though? Like, the gather while mounted thing is also giving you straight up skill. And then you're getting perception, you're getting finesse, you're getting skill, you're getting deafness. Like, I feel like you're also getting things that you want for mining anyway. Like, you would get those things filled out anyway. Druids are great. I'm not disagreeing there. Love me a druid. Super handy. Oh. Spent the entire day traveling again after that dreaded 8-hour trip I did a couple of days ago, but now I'm free to rest a little bit. Nice. Oh man, that's more traveling than I feel like I could take. Hopefully you get a nice break soon. No rare up there. Check these ones. Sometimes you will have to dismount. Druid travel form has no casting time, and cat form can stealth. That is true. You are correct. Queen Lashdang, hello? These are not up. Where are my rares? Hello? They're not here. Guys? That's Stumpy. We don't want Stumpy. I can't handle the stump. Let's go check for Sarasa. I wonder if I just, like, just missed them all. Someone just did a big lap. Might end up having to do some of that fishing. I had started fishing on, or I'd picked up... Oh, I was gonna pick it up. I forgot to train the tracking fishing. Stumpy with the supportive family. Stumpy with the promising grades and academic performance. Oh, hey, there's a rare. We found one. In my ongoing streak of trying to find mindless and low pressure things to watch, we tried another game show. I've been enjoying Jeopardy, and I put on Wheel of Fortune to see if I enjoyed that, because I figured I like word games. Wheel of Fortune, I don't know if it's always been wacky, but it's wacky. It's got like a weird energy. Ryan Seacrest is just partying over there. Gredford, thank you very much for the 14-month resub. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. What is that? Creature walking on the road. Oh, like the big, that guy? Big fungal strider. There's, I think, an achievement for getting killed by him. I think if you attack it and then it kills you, you might get an achievement. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune kind of good. We put on an episode of Celebrity Jeopardy, and that was very funny. I wanted to see if I knew more of the answers in Celebrity Jeopardy because I figured they must have to like bring down the difficulty a little bit for people that are not, Jeopardy mains. Jeopardy's very like fast paced though. I feel like it's fun to watch because it's very like bing bong bing bong bing. Wheel of Fortune was kind of languishing a little bit. Also, this is not a secret or a surprise to me, but I suck at trivia. I am so impressed by people that like are really good at trivia and are able to put that knowledge to good use in something like Jeopardy, I guess. Oh my god, Ryan Seacrest. The episode that I picked, I guess it was a recent one, and he was talking with the contestants, and this lady was like, I like dance. All kinds of dance. What dance do you like to do? Which was nice. It's a nice thing to say. It's a very generic thing to say. I kind of felt like we were doing like a Q&A at a kindergarten or something, but it was nice. And then Ryan's like, well, when I was a kid, I liked to do the worm. Maybe at the end of the show, I'll do it. So I can recover for that, because, he's in his 50s now. And then at the end of the show, he gets one of like the staff on the show or something. He gets like a younger guy to do the worm on his behalf. And the whole thing was just so strange. It was funny. I enjoyed it a lot, but it was just odd energy. The old Jeopardy SNL skits are hilarious. He's primarily known for American Idol here, so I forgot he existed. He is vibing on Wheel of Fortune, I'll tell you. And you know who else is still there? Is Vanna White is still doing Wheel of Fortune. She's, I think, 69 years old now, and she is tapping those letters as well as she ever did. Stumpy, we're leaving alone. Man, somebody must have just wiped out this whole zone. Bad timing, because I'm not seeing anything right now. I should probably just pick one and then sit there and wait. Probably the one closest to the beginning of the zone. So either probably Lash Tongue or Razul and just like camp it. Lash Tongue will be good because I can fish while I'm waiting. Oh no, it's like dead. There's two of them dead here. Although there looks like somebody's waiting for a third. Well, I guess I could open water fish while I wait if I don't want to look for pools. I was going to find fishing I was going to get the book back in Eversong or Silvermoon, but I forgot. Finally getting my Argent tournament done? Nice. There's a 10-minute clip of Ken Jennings in the show called Grand Slam with these utterly ridiculous trivia questions. Does he just kill them all? I feel like I'd want to see that. I remember when he went on his original Legendary Jeopardy run, and it was like news at my family's house. Like, we would go to my grandparents, and we would sit around having snacks and just, like, gossiping about Ken Jennings on Jeopardy. It was so crazy. I think it's great that he's doing so well as a host now. What did I just fish up? I fished up something called Another's Treasure. This is your treasure. Show it off. 10-second cooldown. Is it trashed? It's fish bones in a soda can. Excellent. With a tiny boomerang? There's like a boomerang through my hand. I hope that's supposed to be a boomerang. It's like... Oh dear. Oh dear. We're a Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy household, especially since they're in time slots in succession. Man. I've been watching them on Crave, because that's the one that that's the streaming service that I have that I like just noticed they were on. You can send them to another person. Complex math questions. Oh. I was reading that there was like minor amounts of drama on Pop Culture Jeopardy because one of the high-performing teams had a team member that I guess writes questions for a different trivia game show. He's like a mastermind on Mastermind or something. And people were like, Jeopardy's for amateur trivia masters. And I'm thinking, what? Is it? Is that true? Jeopardy people are like really into it, and I guess I don't know like the Jeopardy etiquette, but like, can you be too smart for Jeopardy? I didn't think that was a thing. I kind of thought that Jeopardy is where the trivia experts go, but some people thought this pop culture Jeopardy guy was like a plant, and they just wanted to see bar trivia people do it, I guess. I don't know. It was funny. It was like a weird complaint to have. I guess I may not be fishing up anything worthwhile, but I'm still getting Midnight Fishing skill. Family's the same, but with Lion King for some reason. Been enjoying all the random fishing flavor text and items this expansion. Yeah, there's fun stuff in there. Made for Pop Jeopardy, but regular Jeopardy has trivia whizzes all the time. Yeah. I don't see why Pop Culture Jeopardy should be amateurs only. 18 Thursdays a year, I have to watch a little of Wheel of Fortune against my will at 1:40 a.m. Man, that is a highly specific amount of Thursdays. Jeopardy amateur trivia the same way the Olympics are amateur athletes. That's why the show's built on people having winning streaks. The longer you go, the better you are overall. Man, if I ever get back to town, I'll grab the fish finding book. I feel like you can fish up the fish finding book, but I haven't done so yet successfully anyway. I know the first guy to get the $1 million in the US worked for the IRS. I feel like nowadays, with how increasingly like siloed pop culture has become into like different little algorithm bubbles, it would be increasingly hard to have like a really widespread knowledge. You're gonna have deeper knowledge of like specific smaller segments of pop culture, and it would be pretty challenging to have like a pretty thorough knowledge of everything, because there's gonna be some corner of TikTok that your algorithm never showed to you. Contestants, what is... There was genuinely on Pop Culture Jeopardy a 6-7 category. It were things that sound like 6-7. It's funny because like all of the contestants in the show are like my age or older. It's like a lot of like millennials and elder millennials. And they're all just like, I don't know, man. I follow a network TV show that airs at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, and every season has 18 episodes. Takes 2 to 3 weeks for the new eps to reach Disney in my country, so I stay up until 2 a.m. to watch it live. So, end up watching the last 15 to 20 minutes of Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I see. That makes sense. 8 p.m. Thursdays. Not that it's any of my business what the network TV show you watch is. Getting old, can't keep up with this stuff. Yeah. I've let go of my need to be with it. I will happily be out of date. History teacher in 7th grade created a Jeopardy game we'd play every Friday in class. Made learning more fun. That's super fun. I would have been super into that as a kid. I would have been into that to the point that I would have made it less fun for other people. It is forced upon via small human in-house. See, you're staying more hip and with it than those of us without small human in-house, though. You're getting the inside scoop on what's hip and happening. Or whatever the Gen Alpha calls hip and happening things. If your job is pop culture trivia, can you write off every streaming subscription as a work expense? Just all of them. I don't know if this guy's gonna spawn. There were like 2 bodies worth of it earlier. Must be about to spawn. Any second now. It's to the point where everything is 6-7. You know what's funny is in 10, 15 years, those kids are going to be, you know, in their 20s. And they're going to have nostalgia for 6-7. Isn't that wild? Work right across from a high school, and I cannot wait until school is done for this summer. I was trying to leave a parking lot in my car a week or so ago, and there was just like a pack of teenagers meandering as they do. But it was funny because they were kind of like walking like alongside and then just like in front of, like, I eventually just stopped my vehicle altogether because they were like just like lingering like in front of it. And it's like a parking lot. You should try not to hit people. And I didn't hit anybody. But like I don't remember at any age of my life just like wandering and standing in front of cars and parking lots that are trying to leave. Like I would always at least get a little bit out of the way. Or try to walk in a predictable pattern, and there was just like a whole pack of them that was just like wandering like scattered data on a graph. You're not supposed to hit people? I know. It's really unfair. Why did they put the bumpers on it? Show called 911, and never in my life did I think a show about firefighters and one cop would have me staying up until 3 a.m. 18 Thursdays a year. My 30-year-old coworker has been memeing about 6-7 ironically, so now all adults are also 6-7ing. It's an epidemic. Listen, you guys are doing the golden work because that's what is needed for it to end. When the youngins get, I mean, they're probably already over it, but when the youngins get word that the 30-year-olds are doing it, we're going to effectively end the coolness, and then they can stop doing it and do something different. Not that they've ever bothered me with it. I don't really have people that age in my life. Shopping for food, they stop in the middle of the aisle. Yeah. I don't mind if somebody has stopped and they're like... I mean, I don't mind anyways, because people are living their own lives and they're doing their own thing. But, like, if somebody stopped and they're, like, looking for something, then that's valid. Like, you know, you gotta find what you're looking for. But when they're just, like, on their phone... in the middle of everything, or, like... One guy was like paging through a paper flyer. Like he had found a paper flyer that was in someone else's cart that they had abandoned. And he was pushing his cart next to this abandoned cart, so there was no room to pass them. And he like sees the flyer, stops, and mind you, this is at like 5 p.m. It's the after dinner rush. It's like a full store. And he's like peering, and then he starts like flipping through it. And I'm just behind him in my cart being like, I guess I'm gonna go like the entire aisle around because I mean, I could have said something, but I was like, I'm going to leave that to the adults. I am a baby 33. I'm not going to say anything. He must know what he's doing. It can't possibly be a surprise to him that other people want to pass by here. Right? Like, be how much happier if we drove bumper cars. You ever see those mesothelioma commercials? No. Is mesothelioma something that advertises? It sounds like a terrible disease. What is it? Hang on. Mesothelioma. It's cancer, so that's a good start. I didn't think it was advertising. I kind of thought it just gets people. What kind of commercials were these? Oh, hey, the rare's out. There she is. Oh, I'm not the only one. Lawyers. A customer got mad talking to me about how my coworker didn't say hi or how are you or something. And meanwhile, he was on his phone for the whole interaction, even with me. Could barely even figure out the problem because of it. Talk about a pet peeve. Oh, I see. Class action lawsuits. Gotcha. They're just iconic because they're so ridiculous. Nah, must have missed that. So now I gotta figure out where the rest of the ones that are like spawning are gonna be. Because usually something after one of them spawns, like other ones will follow suit because they were killed all in like a big loop. But you gotta figure out which ones are going down next. Not this one. Tips for farming angler pearls. Figure out your easiest point. There's two ways of going about it. The first one is basically just to spam 2,000 score by looting like 4 treasures and then starting over again to kind of like get your diminishing returns pearls, and just do that as often as you can. The other way is to figure out something else that you want, like achievements, and to just like farm score while doing those achievements. I wanted to get all the Abyss Anglers achievements except for the ones for killing the elite thing. So I just kind of focused on those achievements and then just got looted treasures for score. Didn't take too long to do. Don't bother spearing fish unless you need them for an achievement. It's one of the worst ways to get score. Which is funny because it's like the point of the mode, but what are you gonna do? Man, I'm having a terrible time with these. When it rains it pours, and when it's a desert, it is dry out here. The kangaroo mice are mousing. I like the cosmetics you get for the angler pearls a lot. I also just liked the atmosphere working on that. Like, I had the music up. It was nice. It was relaxing out there. Man, I've actually run out of... I've been flying around so much, I've run out of, charges. Is the bird at least up? Nope. Man. This zone's just been wiped. I might just go back to, go back to town, buy that fishing book I was thinking about, and then just, like, come back here and do another round. So chill doing the spearfishing. It makes me feel like I'm visiting, like, a great big aquarium. It's a very nice, calm feeling. We're gonna have more, ritual site achieves to do next week. Happened with ZA earlier. Half the zone was empty. Went to another zone. Yeah. This is my last zone to do on this character, so I could start another character and do a different zone, but... You know that if you just... I don't know. I'm gonna go back to town, train a thing, come back out here, and if it still sucks, then I'll, I guess, start another character and come back to it. It's usually because somebody else is doing the same thing as you are, and they just wiped it, like, 5 minutes before you. Any given rare will spawn if you wait there for long enough, and it doesn't usually take more than like a maximum of 15 minutes, but I don't know, if you were waiting 15 for each of them, you're gonna be there for a while. So the fishing trainer was at the fountain. Somebody sell the... Anybody sell the book? No, you don't sell anything, do you? You might sell stuff. Yeah, one angler's guide, please. I need the fine art of fish finding. That's what I'm after. Maybe I'll just zone back in and I'll be in a different shard. I don't know if it works that way. Probably not. At least now I can fish while I wait. Imagine that I just get the fishing mount while I'm fishing, waiting for a rare to spawn. How crazy would that be? I wanted to paint my nails again, but it seems like it's completely a waste of time to do it while I'm busy doing this much cleaning. And like hand washing and stuff. Like, even though I'm wearing gloves for lots of stuff, it's just, it just falls apart like immediately. Take a week or two off of nail polish, I guess. Not here. Yeah, we can get a couple of nodes while we're looking, I guess. Any fishy? Sarasa? Oh, yeah. Nice. Wonder if it just spawned, too. So I think it's swimming away faster than I'm catching up with it. This fish swims like a... Oh, it's slowing down now. I was gonna say this fish swims like a bath toy. Like it looks like you wound it up. Little mechanical fish. One mount, please. No luck. I have yet to get any mounts from either Herondar or Zul'Aman. I'm still 0 of 2 for both of those zones. Good morning, how go rares? Good morning, Dougie. Going pretty good. I feel like I had a real hot streak earlier. I did basically everything on my priest. And now I'm on my last... Oh no! I'm trying to clear out my last zone on my warrior before I move to my hunter. No luck yet, but we've been having a nice day. It's nice just to sit and chat with you guys. This reminds me of when I got my very vibrant pretty petal. Check for these ones. I'll get them. No, it just died. Man, alright. Let me go camp. Maybe Drakena. Let's go that way. I'm gonna get these kills. I'm gonna. You can't evade me forever. So if this one's not up, I think I'm just gonna kind of gather in the area until it does come up. I mean, I can check the other ones, but I think they're gonna be down too. I wonder if there's any particular fishing schools that are like sort of jackpots that are like specifically... Oh, hang on. Rare. That are specifically worth stopping to fish from. Maybe if I'm doing the fishing farm, I'll learn what all the good ones are. It's not going to be Stumpy. Stumpy's too mean. Stumpy and I are not friends. We're fighting. We're not getting along. Not everybody's gonna. We'll try Tarek first. I'll kind of come in from the top end of this. It's because you never complimented him. I think we got a ways to go before I get so desperate as to unleash that one. We'll keep that strat deep in the back pocket. For he whose back pockets must run deep. That one not up. That one not up. Brutal out here. Vicious Void pulls for the octopus and the nullfish things. Ooh, okay. I'll keep an eye out for those. Viscous Void. Wow, they don't show up very well, huh? I kind of figured they would have better... Oh, I see the boundary of it now. Those blend in. Are these the money ones? Let's see. So, an ominous octopus worth 46. Oh, I got a treasure. Stranded Bloomline. I'm just thinking, imagine the mounts just like... Well, guys, what's this egg for? Does this do anything? Should I delete it? Maybe we should vendor it. Times are tough. Shimmer Siren 63. You could gut it, you monster. I wonder what happens if you do that. Is this egg for cooking? Imagine that you can like automatically cook it when you're like making a batch of other food. It just like pulls it from your bags. Ah, I don't have my blood hunter thing on. For some reason, I thought those could only spawn in Zolomon. Bloodhunters are not worth it. No, they're like 2 gold each. Those are just for... just there to annoy you. You start cooking it as the egg cracks for ultimate guilt. Open water in here enough for fungal skin pike. Let's go back up the river and check on the rare again. I should probably be trying to fish near rares so that I see when they come up, so I don't miss them. Otherwise, people might fly by and smoke them before I get to it. Okay. Skip the Blossoming Torrent. Hello. I am Sis. But our trans friends are welcome here. My pronouns are in my description tabs. I use she, her pronouns. We're gonna give that one the benefit of the doubt for one go anyway. So is this the one I want to sit in camp? I mean, maybe? Any more Viscous Void? There was a... Let's go do... I'll check on the other side of the zone, I guess. There's a lot of competition for these rares today. We could also take our hunter and just start doing other zones, but I don't know. I feel like it'll come up. Here's one. There is a hunter. They might be AFK though. This would be a really hard... This would be a hard one to tame because people are farming for mounts. More people are farming the rare since not as many people pushing keys. Yeah. Yeah, it feels to me like this is the time to do it. Also Friday. Yeah, maybe people getting off early or got the day off. I had really good luck earlier in the rest of the zones and on my first character. I was just... We were smoking them one after another. But the longer I wait for stuff like this, the more... that one looks like it just died. I tend to, like, you know, farm a few things that are worth a little bit of gold. Usually we come out ahead in some way or another. If we just camp one of them. It's hard to know where to start to camp, though. You want to camp the one at the beginning of the long line of rares, but it's hard to know where that's going to be. Imagine the increased chocolate sales if they pushed to have pronouns reordered as her and she. I feel like I 70% understand that joke. I'm trying to imagine chocolate that has pronouns printed on it. I feel like most chocolate just says, like, a square. Able to kill all the Voidstormers last night in one lap. Felt really good. Nice. Jelly. Yeah, that's always good. I wonder if I end up getting the, Petal Wing mount to drop from Herondar, and then I'm just like, well, that was the best one. What else are we still here for? Why are we here? What am I doing here? Hershey's. Oh. Wow, that one really went right over my head. Oh no. I'm here trying to imagine like Valentine's Day chocolate that's like affirming, like pronoun affirming Valentine's chocolate that like for some reason if you print it in the other order has more letters and is therefore larger. I am really thinking in the wrong direction. Oh. Someone put Auntie Hazel back to bed. Need new nap. Old nap not good anymore. Need new nap. Speaking of pronouns, gonna watch He-Man later this week. Is that out this week? Mm. Is his hair still as fabulous as ever? Oh my god. Can't believe that guys from Red, White, and Blue is He-Man. I think maybe we should just like come back to this. Let's do a little Void Storm and Zolomon on my hunter. The luck of Herondar is not with me right now. I feel like I've been out here for half an hour. Could have killed like 2 or 3 more rares if I had just camped them. Asking the tough questions. Why is He-Man but She-Ra? School's been out for a week, so I've been on vacation for a week, discovering I really liked working every morning. Oh. Hello. Forgot that I left this hunter here. I guess I'll start in Voidstorm. Yeah, there's something to be said for like a routine. Even when the disruption of the routine is like objectively a good thing, like on vacation, I feel like the disruption itself is still kind of annoying. This is why I don't do vacations. You're gonna go all that trouble to go somewhere different and just, I don't know. It's tough. It's not fun by default. Check on this one. Anyone who doesn't compliment Stumpy gets cursed with bad luck. You know what would be really good luck is if we could get our second Voidstorm rare mount. Been struggling to make new routines since I retired. Routines are good. I find that if there's no one else that is involved with a new routine I'm trying to establish, there is no chance. If I'm trying to like build a habit and I'm trying to do a thing and I'm the only one involved, it's dead in the water. It's not happening. I need it to be a thing where there's other people that also know about it that are going to also show up, that will notice if I don't show up. And this is why I show up to stream. Or to like a scheduled yoga class. Or like a scheduled call. But if it's just kind of like an I'm going to do blank by myself every morning at blank time, I'm going to do that approximately once. I need a thing. I like community center classes and stuff like that, so that you can, especially when they're like affordable, it's just like a thing that I registered for that someone will know if I don't show. Show up to stream for a mortgage payment. It's true. Can't pretend we're doing it recreationally. Hence why I'm struggling. Forced routine was nice because I like the job. Same goes with quitting bad habits. Easier in groups. Yeah. I don't know how many times in my life I was like, I'm going to make a habit of doing blank, whatever it was, journaling or meditating or like a certain kind of exercise or whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to do it at blank time every blank interval. And unless there's other people involved, my follow through is 0. I don't even bother trying. I don't even lie to myself anymore. I'm just doing things on autopilot unless otherwise scheduled. That's all I got in me. The youthful supply of willpower that was able to get me to stick to those things has been gone for a while. The Lulu is the solo Lulu. Mind-blowing thing I learned. Neurodivergent people mostly can't make habits. We do routines. Here's a dumb question. What's the difference? What's the difference between a habit and a routine? I figured both of them are just sequence things that are done regularly, and where the thing triggers the next thing in the sequence. Habits get built like that too. They'll have like a trigger, like an if then kind of thing. We have to remind ourselves to brush our teeth. Oh. Part of a routine that doesn't get interrupted, we're fine. Both me and partner smoked, so hard to quit while the other is still doing it. Oh, I bet. Well, Lotus is up. Out of curiosity, have you ever played Fable? I don't think I ever did, no. I feel like I looked at it once and then decided that I didn't want to spend the money to buy it. And that was a long time ago. I must have missed it. Yeah, I love it when all the rares are up like this. I get used to it. I get kind of spoiled. What are the differences between routines and habits? It might just be semantics. The human brain likes to batch things because it's a lot less work to remember a sequence of things than it is to remember each component individually. So anything that tends to get repeated is going to get sort of saved to your memory in like a batch sequence. It's like one of the reasons that it's like easier to remember like a phone number or like a PIN number or something when you were like putting it in and you have the keypad in front of you. But like if someone asks you to like recite it or like translate it or something, and that's going to get a lot harder. Tracking number of kills and rares? I am not, no. I'm just killing them until they give it up. It's either dropped or it hasn't. Exactly that way. Remember, the pin is the shape more than a number. That way lies madness. It would have been kind of nice to have a number just for bragging rights. Just for like, oh man, I've killed blank number of rares and I still don't have them all. But my rarity wasn't working and I was too lazy to troubleshoot it, so here we are. I think habits are routines that have become subconscious. They did a 30 gameplay demo. And in the span of a short time, the character was able to buy a business, make a guy the new bartender, flirt with a woman who likes people with real estate, fire another bartender, and commit arson. That might be a few too many things. That sounds pretty chaotic. Gosh. There's a person that's cast on Love Island US that's like a young guy, and whenever anyone asks him what he does, he's like, I do business. I do my business, but like he will never say like what the business is. Like most of them will tell you like what the job is. And this guy's like 21 or something. He's young. And it's just really funny because he'll be like, I want a partner that when I'm at a business event, she can hold her own while I'm networking. And I'm just thinking, like, and I mean, maybe it's valid that he doesn't want to share for privacy reasons or something, but it's just so funny because he's so young and because he's being so vague. It's like, what business? What do you mean? Most recent alpha version's working. I heard that. I just didn't want to mess with that. That sounded like too much work for me. It's a valid workaround. That is what people are doing. I just didn't want to. Also, Haley Atwell is the villain of the game? And that one vampire from What We Do in the Shadows. Oh. He's just trying to grow his business. Can't with him. Are you also watching? Do you know what I mean? Oh, man. Fatty, thank you very much for the 55-month resub. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm invested. All right, good. I needed at least one other people to be coming on this journey with me. Just turnip business in Animal Crossing. Oh, man. I feel like the cast is... Maybe I'm just getting older, so, like, the cast is young this year. I wish they would cast 24 and up. They probably wouldn't get as good of drama if they only cast 24 and up, but, like, these 21, 22-year-olds are just, like... I don't know. It's tough. It's tough out there. Need Biomaw still. There's a couple of 29-year-olds. Both Bryce and... Oh, I thought there was another one. Oh, I guess it was Sean, but, you know. We're like, almost 30, and it's like, I can't, like... I'm trying to imagine being 29 and having a conversation at, like a romantic conversation with someone who's 21 and being like, what are we doing here? Like, what do they have, I don't know, man. I can't. It's just, it's not, like, immoral. It's just, I don't feel like there would be anything there. Go even further, go for the 60 to 70-year-olds. Also, bye, Melanie. I have a hard time, like, I'm glad that I'm not allowed to vote because I'm not in America, because I kind of love it when people are messy because that's, like, why I'm watching. So, like, I want them to make better choices, but I also don't want them to make better choices because it would make for, like, less good TV. I want them all to do exactly what they're doing, and I just want everybody online to be, like, chill and reasonable about it and not harass anybody. If everybody was, like, well-adjusted and making good choices, it would be very boring. Go for 60 to 70. The golden Love Island. I feel like they would take sun protection more seriously. I hope these people are just swimming in sunscreen. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what's gonna happen tonight. I am going to be seated. I gotta try to get my news video edited and, like, scheduled before 6 so that I can watch that with dinner and, like, really get into it. I like my garbage. It's fun. It's very low stakes. Alright. You want to know something funny? Is I was rooting for Gabe. I was rooting for him so hard. I wanted for him to prove everybody wrong because I felt like it was a little icky how everybody thought he was just gonna, like, mess around and, like, start smooching everybody. So I was, like, not, like, typing, but just, like, in my head I was, like, defending him. And then he just starts smooching everybody and I'm like, bro! I wanted so badly for him to just be misunderstood. Yeah, as a Miami girl, knew he was a big no. Everybody was saying that, and I was just like, give him a chance, you know? He hasn't done anything wrong yet, and then he did it, and I'm like, alright, fine. I still don't want them to get rid of him, because I think he's fun to watch, but, I thought that was so funny, as I was just like, listen, they're really cute together. He's definitely, you guys are just projecting. Surely this DJ / model in Miami is ready for commitment. Okay. I'm going to Zolomon is where I'm going, but this is not a real portal, which is why it's not working. Yeah, not the DJ / model. You know what's funny is they have multiple DJ / models. 2 of their guys are DJ / models. It's a popular bifurcated career path. I did die laughing when he was talking with the new girl, and Gabe is like he's Brazilian, and she had mentioned that she had been like learning Portuguese or something because she had a roommate who was Brazilian, and he's like, "Oh, what did you learn?" And she's like, "I learned that I like cheesy bread." I had to pause it because it was so funny. I thought she was gonna say anything else. I thought she was gonna say like a word, like she'd learned a Portuguese phrase or something. But no, my girl learned she likes cheesy bread, and I can't fault her for it. I probably would too. It sounds delicious. That's good. I don't need this rare for a mount, but I do need it for a pet. In her defense, Brazilian cheesy bread. I'm sure it's amazing. I've never had it. I kind of want it now. Alright. 1, delish. 2, he taught her words and she insta-forgot. Yeah. You can get it frozen in the grocery store? Missed that, but yes, it's good. I feel like a lot of my primary food groups or staple food sources can be boiled down to a cheese and carb base. You know, your pasta and cheese, your pizza, your pierogies. I'm sure there's more. Fried cheese, big staple. If it works, it works. You gotta eat. Easy to make, just hard to find the manioc flour sometimes. Yeah, I've never seen it frozen at the grocery store. We don't have like a massive selection of stuff, but we do have some international foods. We have lots of pierogies. But I'm starting to think pierogies are a bit of a Canadian thing as well. Or they're just popular here. Apparently there's a good Brazilian restaurant not far from us. We'll have to give that a try someday. I think my culinary horizons may have stopped expanding when I moved to the woods. It's a little tougher to get outside of your box. Yeah, it won't just be at any grocery store. Yeah, I might have to drive a bit for that. Hello, Hazel. Long time no see. Hello, Lindo. Welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Friday. So glad I grew up with Brazilian food, especially birthday party food. Once I came to the US, you cannot imagine my disappointment when I went to a birthday party and it was the lamest food ever. Why, you don't like cupcakes and pizza? And I'm genuinely, I think that's reasonable to be disappointed with, especially like the kind of birthday food that's fed to children, I feel like is, you're getting away with it because they're not old enough to have had much else. You got it, Grants. Called it for you. Yeah, we're up to 3 of 8 mounts. This is the achievement pedal wing that I'm on. This is not the Herondar pedal wing, unfortunately. This hunter just looks really nice on it. Sounds like every pizza place menu. What's in this? Cheese, bread, sauce? Bread, sauce, cheese? Go to all the church and kid parties for the food. Is this one up? No? I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce any of that. I have no foundation of how to pronounce any Portuguese words. Or Spanish words. It all sounds yummy. I'm having a hard time finding rares up. Okay. Well, I guess I could, while I wait here, log back onto my warrior, do another lap of Herondar and see if it works out. I feel like standard birthday cake has kind of like fallen down my list of things that I enjoy. I feel like if I'm making a birthday cake now, or if I'm having one, I want it to be either like a fudgy chocolate cake, like almost like a diner style chocolate cake, or like a cheesecake or something. Or you can just leave cake altogether and go into like pastry. But just like regular sheet cake with regular buttercream is not cutting it for me anymore. It's not cutting the slice. Ice cream cake, yeah, that's good stuff. Is multi-box farming still a problem? I haven't seen a lot of it, but I guess that doesn't mean it's not happening. Visited my cousin a few weeks ago and asked him what he had for breakfast, and he said, cookies and cake. Is your important context, is your cousin an adult? Because it's valid either way. Like cochina is a version of chicken croquettes. Man, I'm sheltered. I don't know what that is either. He is 40 years old. Ah, good for him. He's old enough to know what he wants. I'll never forget being a kid at a grandparent's house with like a pack of cousins, and I was the youngest and therefore the most gullible one. And they all like double dog dared me to go ask our grandmother if we could have pie for breakfast because they thought I would just, I don't know, get in trouble for asking or something. And my grandma was a baller and she said yes. And then I was a hero because we had pie for breakfast. It's excellent. Core memory. Want to win. Closed mouths don't get pie. Sometimes you gotta ask. Deep fried ball of whatever filling. There comes an age, no matter how unhealthy you eat, when you eat store-bought birthday cake and cringe at the sugar and the icing. Yeah, I feel like your body reaches a point just from, I guess, just from aging or something, where like it doesn't taste nice anymore. It just kind of hurts. Or like you can already feel the impending headache. I don't really enjoy that anymore because it just like it's associated with like the gross feeling and the headache that like happens immediately. Like you don't even get a chance to enjoy it. I still like sweet things, but I like them a little less sweet than that now. But when I was a kid, I was like, there's no such thing as too much sugar. I would like all of it. And I think I said there's no such thing as too much sugar, and then a grandparent who was diabetic was like, no, there is. Trust. You guys have been aging? I made a pact with a celestial being, stopped aging 70 years ago. Can taste the sugar in Monster? Doesn't agree with me. Have to have the sugar-free version. Alright, we found a rare. We can do this. Maybe this one will drop him out. You never know. You guys are making me a little bit hungry. Yesterday afternoon, my partner brought me a mug of miso soup and rice in like a big mug with a spoon to have as like a snack at my desk. It was so sweet. Yummy. I love miso soup. I always feel like I'm missing out on how much people like Diet Coke, Monster, and Red Bull, and every time I try them, I'm making a face. Yeah, it's not my thing. We keep a few Red Bulls around, and on a morning when I'm gonna get up and go early to a yoga class, but I'm not gonna be back for a while because it's like a long class and it's kind of a drive. I don't want to have like a whole coffee before I go, because it's just not gonna sit right. But I need like a little bit of caffeine so I don't start getting like a massive caffeine headache like mid class. So on that specific morning, I will split a Red Bull with my partner. And he likes it, and I'm just like, ooh, like it's like it doesn't taste. It just tastes like rocket fuel to me. Like the flavor is too intense, but it does solve that problem. It bridges that gap. It's got a concentrated enough caffeine that it'll do the job without acting too strongly as a diuretic. I've been drinking triple coffee since the late teens. If something is so sweet that my coffee tastes bitter, it's too much. Yeah, knew it. Hazel Part Rocket. People used to ask me how much coffee I'd had when I would stream or make videos because I was just talking very, very quickly. It's like, no. Not overly caffeinated, just very excited. Too many thoughts, must say them before I forget them all. Body doesn't agree with fake sugar, makes me sick. Trying to get stuff with cane sugar when I can. Yeah. I have found that sucralose, like Splenda or Splenda knockoffs, is a good fit for me for coffee because I like sweetened coffee, but if I put actual sugar in a coffee or a tea, I will get a cavity. It's not an if, it's a when, and the when is about 7 days. My teeth, like, if you combine an acidic drink with actual sugar, are going to disintegrate immediately. But if I found that if I don't get that problem if I use Splenda instead. Just happy to be here. Don't understand the difference. They use different sweetening agents. So some people will agree with one but not another. Some people don't like all of them on principle. I don't mess with aspartame. I don't like the way aspartame makes me feel, so I don't drink anything with aspartame. But sucralose it's fine with me, so I do that one. I don't do a lot of it. Like a packet in a coffee in a morning in a day. But supposedly the safe limit is a lot higher than that. I'm sure my mom still wouldn't be happy about it, though. She says it's chemicals. Cicero, thank you for the 5-month resub. My collector heart is fighting my classic heart. Which one's gonna win? But I buy knockoff Splenda because actual Splenda's too expensive. Classic HC is winning. Oh, the nice thing about hardcore, though, is that, like, it'll end, you know? Like, eventually, you either win. It's the Game of Thrones. You either win or you die. And then if you die, you can go back to collecting. I always liked the idea of a WoW story that had an ending and just didn't end in me abandoning a character forever. Although, having said that, most of my hardcore characters didn't die and were instead abandoned forever, so maybe it didn't work out that well. Other people are camping this, so I'm gonna camp it too. Continue to prefer regular sugar. 1 pump of syrup, not 3 in my coffee or whatever. You have a Night Elf Hunter in hardcore? How did she die? She didn't. Lives to this day. The only character I ever had that died at like a meaningful level after an actual amount of progress was that warlock, that early warlock that died at level like 13 or whatever. The rest of my characters never died. I had a bunch of like low level deaths on like warriors for fun. But like the hunter that I was leveling, the warlock that I leveled, they never died. I never noticed that these look like little faces. I never noticed that. They don't just look like faces. They've got like they are faces. Like they've got eyes and mouths and little hair and little Shrek ears. They're in the delve there too. Wonder how those happened. Are they sculptures? Are they petrified creatures? They look like they're suffering. I like them. Would put in own house. Elven Arcane Guardian. Do I have an Elven Arcane Guardian? I want to be part of the club. Elven Arcane Guardian. Oh yeah. That's the Undercoin one. You ever do like impromptu mount toss with other people that are also waiting for a rare? Ah, this person is named Wiggle. I'm jealous. They're from Frostmane in a Paranoid guild. They're Aussie. Or Oceanic, anyway. This is a sick name. I wish I had the name Wiggle. A little late to the stream. Hi, Onyx Coaster. I feel like if I want to win, you just take out one of the 3.4k mounts, because even if somebody else has done 3.4k, the odds that they actually pick the same mount as you is going to be a little bit light. You're doing fine. We're here for another 15 or so minutes. Farming some rares, trying to get a mount to drop. No mount drops yet today. Lots of good rare kills, though. There's a lot of people out and about farming. I wonder if this weekend, if I should... This weekend I ought to, do... Oh, there it is. Something else, maybe. If it's gonna be super busy. And, like, hard to get tags. Might be a good time for me to do a little bit of work in the house. 58 minutes, basically an hour. Come on, luck. Yeah, hopefully we reach 4 soon. We just hit 3 yesterday, so I feel like I got like a week's worth of dues to pay before I start feeling like it's gonna happen. Still there. The third mount was the Cerulean Hawkstrider from Eversong. If you look through a tube with one eye and look at your hand with the other, eventually you'll see your hand with a hole in it unless you draw a face on your hand. Brain wired to prioritize seeing faces. Well, that's kind of neat. Like, look at that. Yeah, that's a good one. I like the new Hawkstriders. They look like big toys to me. They're like kind of like glossy and they're in big chunks in the way that makes them feel just like a big like Happy Meal toy. You can post up a couple of auctions. This thing is gonna spawn like soon. It's gonna. I can feel it. OMG, there's a kitty on my lap. Jealous. Pet kitty for me. Aha, I knew it. Wish they could fly, even if it looked silly. It would be cute if they had had a mount special. They don't, but it would have been cute if they'd had a mount special where they, like, flapped their wings really hard and took off, like, 1.5 feet. And then landed back down. I would have liked that. Let's go see if we can get a few more done before noon. Anything? Nope. Check for this one. Maybe we're finally on the... We're finally hitting them up as they spawn. That one is not up. We're doing good things for Sky Shards, though. Kitty has now upgraded and is now being used as a scarf, using my neck as a place to nap. Oh, kitty neck scarf gotta be nice. I'm always nervous when they're on my shoulders and neck like that because like they're super warm and super soft and it's super cute. But I know that the minute that one of them decides to start to play with the other one, I am in danger. Claws are gonna come out. If you are riding a Hawkstrider off a cliff, they can hover for like 3 seconds like Wile E. Coyote before gravity kicks in. Just like Roadrunner. Meep meep. Check for Treetop and Tarok. I'm in danger. When I was hanging out with them last night, I was just kind of sitting on the floor in front of the cabinet. And every now and then a cat would get up on the counter and just like hang out like right above me. And then without warning would just leap onto my head. I ended up putting up a hood so that I wouldn't get quite so much potentially contaminated cat in my hair. And then I showered after anyway. But it was just so funny because you'd just be minding your own business and you'd just be like hanging out. And then all of a sudden it'd be like, what thunk? Greetings, have been far too absent. How is Hazel? Hi, Day. I'm doing alright. I'm keeping it together. We're floating along like a boat. Need to have the Hawkstrider hold a sign that says I'm in danger before it falls down as well. We've been farming rares for mounts. I got my 3rd one yesterday. No luck today, but we're vibing. We have duct tape if you need it. Oh, you know what? Actually, we ended up using tape for it last night. I feel that this is a prime example of true love. I had this feeling in my foot for the last like 3 days. A feeling like there was like a tiny splinter in my heel that you could feel when you put weight on it. It was just like this weird, vaguely painful, piercing feeling. But every time I looked at it, it looked completely fine. Like I looked at it under direct sun, couldn't see a thing. And I figured, well, I've got a lot going on right now, so it would make sense to have like weird psychosomatic pain. It doesn't look like athlete's foot, so I'm just gonna not worry about it too much. And then last night I was like telling my partner about this, and he says he's gonna take a look at it, and I'm like, well, okay, but I swear I looked and I didn't see anything. I think I'm just nuts. And he looks and he goes over it like super closely. And he finds that there is a spine that was in my foot. And he manages to find the end of it and use tweezers and then a bit of tape to pull it out. It was about 1.5 centimeters long. It was super thin, weirdly flexible, and it was embedded almost completely in my foot. And I was just so sweet because A, he believed me. B, he got it out somehow. And it feels much better now that I don't have a thing in my foot. And it was, you know, we were about to eat dinner, like he stopped everything to do that. It was really nice. What was it? I don't know. I could not figure it out. It was sharp enough to like go in my foot. It was thin enough to like be bendy. It was weird. I don't know what it was from. I've had it in my foot for a few days. Could be a hair splinter? Yeah, maybe. But like it went through like the thick part of my skin at the heel of my foot. Can they do that? Like I've had hair splinters go under my toenails. This went like in my heel. It was weird. Anyway. Hurt a lot. Feel much better now. Shout out Flabby. Oh, they can do it basically anywhere. But that's so rude. Like why? Like how? Hairdressers get them a lot. I hate it. I figured I had picked it up in the garden. Probably hair, though. One of those coarse hairs from my dog do that to me. It could have been like a tiny whisker or something, because it had like a decent amount of stiffness to it. It really looked like a very tiny spine. I wonder if it was just somebody's like dropped whisker. That's what they don't tell you about being a hairdresser. Wait. Alright, I tagged it. Any luck? No. Okay. It's also just funny that it happened recently because, like, we've been militant about cleaning pet hair off of the floor and everywhere for the past week because of Ringworm Gate. Like, we're running the vacuum every single day. And I'm not really going anywhere in bare feet. I'm wearing clean socks and changing them and washing them all the time. It's just weird. Are you killing the same rares, able to get the same mount, same rare in the same day? On different characters, yes. You get 1 kill per rare per character per day. So if I've killed a rare on a given day, I need to use another character to kill it again on the same day. Feels like the path of least resistance would be to bend, not puncture my thick skin. Right? That's what I was thinking. I was mad. Anyway, feels much better now. We're not doing Stumpy. Maybe go hang out at Kyrenex for a few minutes. Getting poked feels like something is there. Yeah. Just need everything to keep it together for a little while. They miss me, kitties. I'm gonna go visit them after stream. I want to hug my tuna. He's kind of smelly right now. I thought that the lime sulfur was gonna stain him, and he was yellow like while it was drying, but the following morning he was not yellow anymore. I wonder if it's gonna like actually stain him, or what. We'll see. He's gonna have more dips of it before this is all done. I'm just gonna call him my yellowtail tuna. How long is treatment? 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how they respond to it. And we are about 1 week in. But they only started we only got a hold of their interfungal meds halfway through the week, and we only got a hold of the lime sulfur like 2 days ago. So, could be a while. I have no patience. So much kitten time. Yeah, they're gonna be like cats. Not like full-grown cats, but they're gonna be big cats. I am seeing them. Like, I'm spending time with them, and we see them like minimum. We'll visit minimum 3 times a day because they need 3 meals a day and they need meds 3 times a day. We're definitely not like, it's not like I never see them, but I just miss having them around all the time. Sucks. Okay, so I think this character is done. I think she can just like port. Oh no, no, she's not done. She needs to sit in camp at. Let's go to Treetop. You killed Treemouth? Clever meat. Who's excited for Bracken-eyed Hollow and Time Walking? I guess me a little bit. I do like Bracken-eyed Hollow. Excited to hear my BF mispronounce it like he did all expansion, calling it Brackentide. I mean, Brackentide makes a little bit more sense as words. Brackish water is water that's kind of like halfway between fresh water and salt water. Just couldn't get it out of his head. Yeah. I get stuff like that happen to me. I think I've been calling Voidstorm Netherstorm for this whole expansion, and I think that's just where I'm at in my life. Keep calling it Voidspire. It's just like, I don't know, it's not very memorable. It's not very unique or original. I feel like it's so similar to so many zones that we already have. It's not really doing much that feels very new. And I don't know if doing new things is a requirement for new zones, but apparently it's a requirement for me remembering their names. Can't be bothered to learn. Don't really care about going there. I've been going there lately just so that I can kill rares and try to get these mounts, and then so I can start on Slayer's Duellum rep, which I still need more of. A little bit here and there. I'd take 45 gold for an Ominous Octopus. Don't mind if I do. There's so many people doing rares out here today. I think tomorrow or Sunday we take a break from this, or we do some of this and we do some decorating. I want to look and see. I want to find the shelving that I want to use. I want to find shelving that I want to use copies of in my kitchen. Actually, let me look at structural doors. Those are the doors. Furnishings, storage. I want to see all of it. Because the nice thing about WoW is you can wall mount anything. I wanted, like... And I mean, this one's not bad. You can get copies of this. You can get copies of that for gold. If you just wanted to mount it. I guess I could also build shelves out of, like, beams and platforms and stuff. These are nice. The Caldorite wall shelves. They're order resources, though. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for, like, tons of copies of those. I don't have a ton extra. I feel like after Remix, I managed to spend a lot of them buying decor the first time. What about this one? Yeah, Kata inscription. Absolutely not. This one is order resources, but it's less of them. Kind of chunky, though. Kind of hoping WoW housing would be more similar to Sims. Either there not being a limited quantity or just purchasing from a menu. Yeah, I could stand to be able to... Even if you just made me pay a one-time fee to be able to copy infinite copies of an item, that would be, like, preferable for me. But that is not the life we're living in, I guess. Alright, treetop. Cough it up. One mount, please. Last rare of the day. We'll do a drum roll and everything. Nope. Worth a try. Yeah, I got another 19 sky shards that we can stick into the warbank. Saving up slowly towards 500 for Ahn'Sharan. We'll get there eventually. I think they did a decent job overall. Hard to be unique with every new zone after 20 years. Yeah. Totally pay $5 a month for a mortgage on my in-game house. Sell. At least we're getting a little bit of gold. Alright, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming morning time, Saturday morning. Maybe do a little bit of housing, work on that kitchen a little bit more. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate the company. Happy Friday, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.